Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage and the Austin Metro. Around 4 days ago, I pulled off the subframe. I wanted to change the suspension lines and I wanted to fix some rust. That escalated a little bit, and I have also removed the fuel tank because I had some rust that I really couldn't reach with the fuel tank in place, and also I didn't like to weld that close to the fuel tank, so that is also dropped. So it's rather bare down there. And now I would like to show you what I have done so far on the rust side. As you can see, there are no subframe and there are no fuel tank head down here, and just rust and also some areas without rust. I really like to find places like that and just looks like a brand new car. That could be an area that could be really bad on a car like this. Also under the fuel tank, it hasn't really been treated with a undercarriage protection, but it looks fine. That's also really nice. So what I have been concentrating on is the rust on this area. I now welded a new piece in here, a new piece right there, and on the sill out here, I cut away most of the sill, of course, but the inner sill is now repaired and the structural rigidity is restored, in my opinion. This is a pretty important spot because this is where the subframe mounts. Unfortunately, I do not have a new panel for this, and the shape in the end of the Metro sill is a bit complicated. I haven't decided if I'm going to try to make it myself or I'm going to try to find a new panel for this. The panel on the other side is actually changed, not by me, but in the past. But this is pretty much it for this side. I also fixed the rust on the seatbelt mount and a little bit of rust right there. And that's pretty much it on this side. I still have a little bit of rust to fix over there. I started to find out where the rust starts and where there is healthy metal and all that. But it's actually not that bad over there, so I'm just going to fix that up and then we should be good to go. Of course, there is still a lot of rust down here, but I can fix that up later. Now I would like to get the subframe and the fuel tank and all that back on. What I decided to do with the subframe was that I wired it down, getting all the surface rust off, and then I painted it with a Hammerite paint, which is a thick paint. I think it got a 8-year guarantee for rust penetration. Let's see about that on the Metro. But the subframe is all right. It is rusty, but it is all right, and I think it will be serviceable for at least a couple of years in the future, maybe 5 or something like that. Then I think it would be time to change the subframe. The subframe on the Metro is a bit of a consumable item, but this is good enough for now. What I want to do to the subframe before mounting it again is check the brakes, make new brake lines, make new suspension lines. Unfortunately, as you can see over here, the suspension or the Hydrogas unit in this area is missing. This is because, yeah, it's pretty much a tradition on my channel actually, but right here is the connector, and this is the one that connects to it with a pipe. That was really tight. I got it loose on this side, and on this side over here, I snapped it. And that's, yeah, that's the Seaside Garage way. So now I have this unit that is perfectly working. It was not leaking or anything, but it is snapped right there. I don't think it would be extremely difficult to fix because I think I could just drill it out and put a thread in it and then yeah, make a connection that way. But to my luck, the guy I bought the Austin Princess from had some parts. And right here we have another suspension unit. I'm not going to use the spring. I'm going to use the ones on the car already, but I'm going to use the Hydrogas unit, which is a fine working connection right there, and fit that to the subframe. Oh, and by the way, I got other stuff from the Princess guy. Take a look at this. It's gonna be a project for the future. Can you see what it is? Also over there, that's not from him, but yeah, I got a jukebox. More on that later. Now it's all about the Metro. But let's begin with the brakes. Ooh, this is not looking that bad, actually. There's plenty of meat on the brake shoes. I got new shoes and I got new brake cylinders for this. But to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna change it. If I can loosen up the bleeder screw and the old union for the brake pipe, I think I'm gonna reuse this because this looks perfectly serviceable, even though it's a bit old. I also need to know if I can actually adjust it. I have already lubricated everything that I need to try to loosen on this a couple of days back. So let's start by seeing if we can move the adjuster. I can't really see if it actually moves in here. Oh yes, it's working. Oh, that's fine. Now let's see. That bleeder screw is what is going to define if we're going to reuse the brake cylinder or not. Oh yeah. Oh, that loosened up without a problem at all. Then what about the union for the brake line? Oh yeah, we got it. Nice. Oh, take a look at this. Just begins to look brand new. So as I said, I have new ones, new shoes and new master cylinders for this. But this looks so nice and it's moving freely. So I think I'm just gonna keep that. I'm gonna make a new brake line for this that goes from the backside and all the way up to this. And now the subframe is pretty much ready to go. There is stuff I should have done that I'm not going to do, but it is a lot better. And take a look at all that new piping going around. That's nice. Just wanted to show you the brakes on this side as well. And actually, I seem to remember that the story about this car was that it actually went to the MOT a lot of years ago. But before that, it was actually serviced by a mechanic, and then it failed because some rust issues and stuff. And that story seems to be true when looking at this because this is brand new. I also installed the new the old Hydrogas from another Metro, and of course made new pipes for that as well. What I want to do now, before this is ready to go back on the car, is to give it a bit of grease in the greasing points. And I just got to say that everything is rusty on this car, but nothing really seems worn. It really seems to match the mileage. Everything seems to move freely, nothing seems to be worn down or anything like that. It seems healthy, just rusty. And what I would also really like to do today is to take this and give it some rust protection everywhere inside of here, especially the places that I fixed rust. I just cleaned all the the loose dirt off of here. And as you can see, we even got original paint inside of here. We now got the inside wheel arch pretty well protected and looking nice. I have not done anything on this side just yet because I still need to weld that sill on. Either I will have to make one myself, or hopefully I will find somewhere to buy one. But this is looking rather smart now, I think. And being a metro, it's almost too good to be true, actually. So yeah, I'm going to fix the rust, reassemble the subframe and the fuel tank and get the car back on the ground. I will do that off camera, and in the next video, hopefully, if nothing goes wrong, the car will be standing on all 4 wheels, and then we're going to try to pump up that Hydrogas suspension. And I really am looking forward to that, because that was pretty much the reason why I got all this work done, because I was so excited to try that out. So yeah, a lot has happened on this Metro for the past few days. That's really cool. Remember that you can support me on Patreon if you like, and I will send you a couple of Seaside Garage stickers if you do so. And thanks to the ones who are already doing that, it helps me a lot. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.